From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley with today's cash close. And the name of this video, traders, gold above $1,100, crude down to 26 bucks, and the S&P loses 2 trillion in market cap. That ain't good. The high of the day of the S&P came in at 1869 quarter at late in the afternoon at 2:30 Central Time. The low came in at 1804 quarter at 11:30 Central Time. And last, on the 245 cash close, were 1859 even. We're down 14 handles. Wow. That's all I got to say about that. Total volume, 3.8 million minis trade and 11,000 big S&Ps trade in the pit. MOC, the MIM started showing small to sell, like 200 million to sell, gradually went up, and the actual MOC came out buy 270 million to buy 350 million MOC. Got that done. Now, tomorrow we have a pretty busy economic schedule. We have the jobless claims number. We have the Philadelphia Fed Business Outlook Survey. We have the EIA natural gas report. We have the EIA petroleum, status report, petroleum status report. We have 6 T-bond auctions or announcements. And what do we have last but not least? The Fed balance sheet and money supply. Whoosh, I got that. Okay, now, look at the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow were all down over 3.5% at one point. And then I went out on Twitter right off the lows of the day and into the forum and asked everybody what they thought. Which would happen, which way would be the next 50 handles, up or down? I said up. It was clear to see. Everybody saw it. And in 3 hours, the S&P rallied over 60 handles. Can you believe that? And someone on Twitter said that before I went out and said that, no one was saying anything about anything like that. And bam, the S&P ripped that much higher. To me, it's almost incredible. So, from being down over 3.5%, or being down 3.5%, the S&P is closing down 1%, and that's coming down late in the day. I think the losses would have been a little bit less if the S&P had held up, but the futures had rallied so much, the S&P came down a little bit on the close. The Dow's going to go out down like 1.52%, and that's off of a 566 point decline. Those guys that are holding stock must have been pooing in their pants when they were watching this today. But anyways, the NASDAQ, which was down sharply, another 2.5%, ended up closing down 0.05%, unchanged on the day. Unreal. Everybody, look, anybody can say what they want about indicators or, trend lines or support levels or anything. What I saw at that time came right from here. It came from the gut. Everybody was negative. Everybody was talking market crash, at least not on CNBC. I don't get that. And I knew that everybody was really short. And then going into the S&P, looking at those levels, I don't know what 1804 was, but I do know that psychologically, 1800 in the S&P is a big level. Like psychologically, S&P 2100 was a big level. Those are key levels that sometimes people ignore. Now look, it was a wild trade. It was a big volume trade. And I get the kind of feeling that, these lows that we saw today may hold for a couple of days. More like a dead cat bounce. Again, I'm not really ready to put my foot into the Bulls camp or the Bears camp in one way or the other. I mean, I've been pretty bearish, and my calls have been pretty bearish too. But that said, I'm not sure that February is going to close in the same manner that it opened up. And I think that there could be a little bit bigger rally here. Everybody's a little bit too far off base. Now At the end of this, and that's right now, I'm going to do a shout out to my forum and the guys in the room. Shy Stock, WB, Top Notch has been trading great. Late in the day, Shy Stock hit a big winner, and I hit a 30-handle winner. And you know what? Those are just nice to catch. And they don't happen all the time, but I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of very competitive traders in the forum, and coming up is going to be this weekend, January 23rd, this Saturday at 10 o'clock Central Time. Jeff Hirsch from Stock Traders Almanac and I are going to be doing a webinar together. And then that's going to be followed up by our announcement or the sign-ups for the boot camp that's going to be starting February 1, which I'm not kidding. I know someone said something on Twitter about, yeah, we've heard this before. But this is going to be a very, very packed boot camp. We've got a new product that's to us that we're going to be demoing. And we've got David Doobie, we've got Rob from DTG, we've got Boston, we got everybody in this. And you know what? At the end of the day, this is a forum of people that like to work together. You don't have to feel funny if you're asking a question and or if you see something on the mem. During the boot camp, everything is unplugged and everything is fully exposed. So, if it fits your trading style, it's something that you like. At the end of it, we're going to make an offer to try to keep you. And if not, we're not going to be mad, because you know what? At the end of the day, trading's about sharing and trying to make money. And if something doesn't fit your toolbox, don't shove it in there. Don't make that go. But I will say that a lot of the long-term people in our forum have been in there for many years, and they see the value in what we're doing. They've been around, they know how to trade, they can follow flow and order stuff. And I hate to say it, before I went out on Twitter and said I thought we were going to rally 50 handles, it went in the forum. And the other part about this, and I got to say this to the people on Twitter, that during the boot camp, there'll be a lot less tweeting going on, because it's not fair to the people in the boot camp, it's not fair to the people in the forum to have my time being run out amongst the Twitter. I hate to say that, but these guys are paying to get in the forum and for the boot camp, and it's very cheap. It's very inexpensive, but it'll give you all of our charts, it'll give you the mem, it'll give you all of our contributors, and it'll be an action-packed week, I guarantee it. I'm going to leave it like that. I hope you had a great day trading, and I'll see you tomorrow on the opening print.